Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to another week of Caitlin's Music City Skinny. This week is going to be a little bit different. So, as I'm sure you probably all know, a tornado struck Nashville and all the way through going east towards Cookeville, which is about an hour east of here. So a tornado has wreaked a lot of devastation in the Nashville and surrounding communities. So as I was looking through, just kind of thinking about, when I woke up on Tuesday and found out what had happened, and I was looking at social media content and what to talk about, it just seemed really gross and yucky to be trying to talk about a topic of buying a house or selling a house or what to know when so many people are now homeless. And, a little bit of, so today's episode is going to basically be covering what you can do if you do want to help with the disaster relief efforts. So, a little bit of background. So on I guess it was technically Monday night, there were some storms that rolled through and there was thunder, but I didn't think much of it. And I remember I saw a tweet right before I went to bed from one of the local news stations saying, "Hey, sorry we had to cut into The Bachelor. There were some severe storms, but thanks to our coverage, everybody's safe." And so I thought, oh, okay, storms are over, whatever, didn't think much of it. So then at about 1:15 in the morning, Astro decided to wake me up. He was barking at the thunder and I just really didn't, I was like, Astro, shut up, let's go back to bed. Didn't think much of it because it was thunder, but again, it didn't sound that bad. And so then it was only about 4:30 in the morning when I woke up. I saw the news on my phone. I thought, oh my gosh, what has happened? And then I started looking at everything and just seeing that insane devastation. Kind of the crazy thing was I know some people who received those emergency alerts on their phone. I was not one of them. And the more that I talk to people, there are so many people who did not receive those emergency alerts like you get for an Amber Alert. So that was just kind of, I don't know what happened. I don't know what malfunctioned, but there were not nearly enough people warned as they should have been. These tornadoes have killed at least 24 people. I've seen 25. I'm not sure what's the accurate number. And I know that especially out in Putnam County where Cookeville is, I know that there are still dozens of people missing. And so, like I said, when I was thinking about content this week, I just felt like it was completely insensitive and wrong to be talking about all things real estate when, again, so many people are now completely without their home. They're completely without any belongings. So I know that if you go on social media and if you've seen any of the relief efforts, it seems like there's something new everywhere you go in terms of how you can help, how you can donate, how you can volunteer. So what I've done, I have tried to compile the most comprehensive list of ways to volunteer, ways to donate, different GoFundMe opportunities, because there's just so much out there, but it doesn't seem like there is one big comprehensive list. So I went ahead and I put that together. It is now up on my website and I will be sharing the link to it because I know that not everybody's here in Nashville and able to put boots on the ground and help. So there are ways for you to donate. So I'll just kind of run through a couple of things that again are all on this list that I've compiled for my website. So of course there are still shelters where people can take items to donate, and I've got a whole list of those. If people are still looking for housing, I don't know what's left, but I do know that Airbnb has opened their free emergency housing option where people that own Airbnbs in Nashville are able to open the option up to allow people to stay in their Airbnb for free. My heart was broken when I saw a news story earlier today of this couple. They've lived in their East Nashville home for 42 years. It's by the grace of God that they were not killed because the tornado started sucking them off their bed and they just hung on for dear life and they're still here. But again, they have nowhere to go. So I know that I do have these resources for shelters and Airbnbs, but if you are in Nashville and you are opening your home to others, let me know because I will just continue to add to this list and just continue to create a source of resources for people. Like I mentioned, there are there are so many stories of devastation out there of people losing their entire homes, of people in the hospital from the injuries from the tornado. So it's hard to really just like say, go to this GoFundMe or this GoFundMe. So I have linked out to all of the stories that have impacted Nashville and Cookeville and whatnot, and how you can donate. The only thing that I would say is just really vet before you donate, just because unfortunately people can take advantage of tragedies and create fake GoFundMe accounts for fake stories. So, but this list, vet everything, feel free to give to whatever you feel led to give to. One thing that's really close to my heart, as I'm sure everyone knows, is just pets. There are lost pets. There are, people are displaced and they can't go to shelters with the pets. And so, and I know that both the Nashville Humane Society and the Metro Animal Control Center, they are both taking donations and trying to help get pets back with their owners. And so they're also looking for certain items. So if you feel led to donate to help the displaced animals, they're needing things like unopened bags of dry cat and dog food. They're also needing canned food, collars, leashes, blankets, and crates. So if that is something that you're interested in giving to, those are the kinds of things that they're looking for. And then also the Agape Animal Rescue Group, they are actually asking for people to foster pets, because again, some of these people that are displaced, they can't take their pets with them to these shelters or to these Airbnbs or to wherever it is that they're going. And so they're asking for people to apply to foster these pets until these people can get back into a more stable housing option of some sort. Then, of course, you can donate. There are so many people taking donations. Again, I've got a list of everything, but some of the most common items that I'm seeing asked for over and over and over again are things like personal hygiene products. So that's going to include soap, shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrush, deodorant. They're also needing bleach, trash bags, gloves, box cutters, cleaning supplies, and diapers. So the Community Resource Center, they are taking these donations. I will have a link out to where to donate, when to donate, what their hours are, just because you got to think, like, there are people just without everything. If you've seen the images, some houses were just completely bulldozed. Other apartment buildings, their windows are blown out, the roofs were pulled off. Especially when I looked at different images from Germantown, it's like the roof got ripped off, and it's just like you can look into a dollhouse where you see the entire layout of these people's apartments, and their belongings are just destroyed. And I know back in October, I got displaced because of water damage, and I know just how much that affected me not being able to be in my place, but I knew I had a place to go back to. I knew how long the recovery was going to be, and a lot of these people, there are just so many unknowns in their world right now. So if there's any way to help, any way to donate, maybe you're so busy with work, you don't have time to like go and put boots on the ground and volunteer, but there are ways to donate and make sure that we're getting the supplies and the resources to the people that really need them. And then, of course, one really cool thing that I've seen is there are these donation through purchases. So several different Nashville-based businesses have either come up with different t-shirts that you can buy where 100% of the proceeds are going to the tornado disaster recovery efforts. I know that the Nashville Tea and Instagram account is donating all of their proceeds from the I Believe in Nashville t-shirts. So if you're out of town and you want to help, that is one way to do that. Living with Landon, she is a local blogger here in town. She is incredible. Her husband is going to become a Hall of Fame football player this year. She created a Nashville Strong t-shirt, and all of the profits from those are also going to tornado disaster relief. Apple and Oak, which is another local business, they've created wine glasses. So maybe you don't need a t-shirt, but you want wine glasses that say Nashville Strong. Those are available. And then also the Good to Be Instagram account has created Good to Be Nashville t-shirts. I have linked to all of these if that is one way that you want to be able to donate back to the disaster recovery efforts. And then of course there are volunteer opportunities if you really want to put boots on the ground. The best things to do are to go through Hands on Nashville. You can sign up for different volunteer opportunities. And then there's also the Nashville Food Project. Not only do they need donations, but they also need volunteers as well. And then of course there are are so many churches around the Nashville community that are organizing their own volunteer opportunities. I belong to Crosspoint, and I know that they are each day updating their volunteer opportunities. So if that is something that you're interested in getting involved, I have a link to that as well. And then here's something else. If you do volunteer, a lot of people are starting to find people's personal belongings and they don't know exactly who they belong to. So there is a community lost and found that has been created. So you can, if you're doing helping with cleanup and you're finding these items, you can take it. And those are going to the Center 615 Rec Hall in East Nashville. Again, I have all the information of where you can take those items. So again, there are so many more things that are happening now. I'm starting to see benefit concerts, benefit watch parties, just so many opportunities. And so this is not something that like, this is the only thing. Everything is continuing to evolve and grow. And so as these things happen, as the opportunities continue to grow, I'm just going to continue to update the list. And you can find it on my website. I will also pin it to the top of my Facebook page. And it's also going to be in the top link in my, link in bio on my Instagram. So if you want to find it, you can. I'm just going to continue to update because again, I mean, to see the devastation, it's like I used to work in news before I got into real estate, and I've seen the images of like tornado destruction, but those were out in the Midwest. And to see it happen here so close to home and just to see how people have just been so affected. This is not something that like in 2 days people are going to be fine. This is going to take a really long time to recover. But, you know, as cheesy and corny as it sounds, you know, I am of Tennessee Vols, and Tennessee is the volunteer state, but it's really in moments like this where you see everybody come together. And one of my fellow agents, she actually lived in LA for a long, long time, and she's now here in Nashville. And she said she has never seen a community come together the way that Nashville comes together. So if you feel compelled at all to help, donate, volunteer, that is wonderful. I just figure, you know, I don't want anyone to feel any guilt or shame around what they can or can't do. Just whatever you can do, every little bit helps. So I hope this was helpful. I know that this was not my normal informative info in regards to real estate, but like I said, this is just on my heart. This is what's important right now. And so I've created this resource, and if there's any other way that I can help, please let me know. Again, I feel like it's just really important to help try to be a vehicle for helping these people, in terms of sharing the information. And this is not all that I'm doing, but this is one way that I am trying to help others. So if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, if you know of any other opportunities, feel free to send them my way and I will be happy to add them to the list. But I hope that everyone is having a good week. Please keep Nashville in your thoughts and your prayers because it is going to take a while to recover. And I will see you guys next week. I hope everyone has a great weekend.